When Jesus was a baby, Satan prompted the government to murder the babies. Is that happening in this day and age? Now, I wanted to find out when abortion restarted, because to my knowledge, there is only, other than what's said, 3 people, things, that are supposed to appear. The small scroll has to be opened, and I've said it's me for the last 10 years, since 2014, when I figured out how an electric atom would teleport from orbit 1 to orbit 2, and then I imagined a key that went into my head, and then I started having visions about anything I looked at. It would tell me how it was made, even things I'd never seen. So the small scroll had to be opened, and the arrival of the 2 witnesses. Now, I don't believe I'm one of the 2 witnesses after reading the descriptions. I don't believe that's me at all. But the small scroll, I'm 99.9% certain, because the spirit has now left. As it does, the spirit comes and goes and is like the wind, and nobody knows where it goes. So, small scroll, the 2 witnesses. So, when did they try and bring back abortion? When was it made legal? That's what I wanted to know. Because I thought, if you have an idea of the end times, you would start as happened in Jesus' time. They persuaded the government, Satan made the government start up, he said, kill all the babies. So when did they start doing it here, and would it be representative of the appearance of the small scroll and the 2 witnesses, and would it prove that this is the end times? So I just went on a little jaunt. I'm based in Canada now, so I just put in, when was abortion made legal? And limited abortion is permitted. In 1969, the Liberal government permitted abortion under certain circumstances. Abortions were to be provided only in a hospital if a committee of doctors decided that continuing the pregnancy might endanger the woman's life or health. So, and I'm not talking about abortion, whether it's right or wrong or anything here. Personally, I think it's wrong to kill babies, because that means you're sacrificing one life so you can have yours back. So that's my opinion on it. So in 1969, but then I realised, hang on, this is the history of abortion in Canada, because I was born in 1969, so my first thing was, 1969, maybe they had no idea. Now, then I went on to, all right, what was the global abortion legalisation? And the historical abortion law timelines are 1850 to today. So, but it's basically telling you that for the past 100 years, abortion has been allowed to be made legal by the governments. And obviously it's flip-flop back and forth. Abortion became legal in Canada in 1988 when the Supreme Court of Canada struck down the criminal code provision that made it illegal. The Canadian government repealed the law entirely in 2019. So other key events, 1920, the Soviet Union became the first modern state to legalize abortion in 1920. 1973, Roe versus Wade was decided in the United States, making legal abortions available in 17 states. But in England, where I was born in 1969, the United Kingdom legalized abortion on a wide range of grounds, except in Northern Ireland, in 1967, 2 years before my birth. So, again, we could all say it's coincidence, but I have 2 siblings, one older, one younger. I'm the dude in the middle, and my older brother was born in hospital, my younger brother was born in hospital, and I was born at home, and my mother was terrified that one of us was going to die. She said it was the most horrible experience she'd ever had, and she would never have another child at home. So it's as if 2 kids are okay, but the other one, we're going to make life really difficult for the mother and the midwife by having the baby at home, so that if any complications happened, that baby would probably die. We could all say again, me being the only one in the family born in bed at home is coincidence, and that the abortion law came into England in 1967, 2 years before I was born, is coincidence. But there's no such thing as coincidence. And it might be grasping and far-fetching, but when you realise that Satan put it into the hearts of the government to kill all the children because Jesus was being born, you would think they would implement abortion. I mean, obviously it's gone on through the ages, don't think I'm ignorant, but to legalise it means anybody and anybody could have an abortion. So it's not like it was promoted due to lack of medical skills for almost 2,000 years. And it's only now in this tiny little sliver of time that we're in now, because the end, everybody can see the tyranny that is rising in the world and the blatant disregard for actually showing yourself to be evil. People have no regard to show that they are evil now, because they know that if they go to prison, they'll get let out having only done 40% of their term. So it's only been in the last, what we're looking at, 50, 75 years, which could of course encompass a lot of people. But somebody knew that these are the end times, and they knew that the small scroll has to appear and be read out, which it has been for 10 years, and the two witnesses have to appear. And if I'm here and I've come in the spirit of somebody, which means we're not reincarnated, I've just come to say and be as bold as the people before me in the spirit of. Same personality, same underlying praying for courage from God kind of guy. And the two witnesses, who's to say they aren't to be born and be in the spirit of Ezekiel? As the Bible says, somebody will come in the spirit of Ezekiel. So, are these meant to be born, or are they going to magically appear or miraculously appear? So, but for one, I know the small scroll is open and has been read out, which is, how did God do everything? I know exactly how God did everything, and I've explained it for 10 years. I just couldn't tell you how he does it, because it's him. Somebody asked me a question. It's a great question. Is there a definition for energy, Lee? And I said, yeah. How about you ask me the real question? And he never did. And the real question is, do you know what energy is, Lee? And the only kind of real answer I can give, because energy is every wave, every light, every radiation, every radio wave. Energy, by the definition that has been placed in my head, energy is that which permeates all matter and all space, giving volume and dimension. And without energy, the entire universe would disappear like smoke and just turn into dust. Every particle not attached to another, every hydrogen bond broken, because hydrogen bonds are electrical and magnetic. So now you know what holds atoms together, electricity and magnetism. But it is a controlled electricity and magnetism, and the energy is literally a living being holding all together by his will. So that's my definition of energy. It is life that permeates every atom, everywhere, all the time, any place, which basically describes the Father and the Son. Thanks very much. My name is Lee. I follow the Christ, and I tell you the things that he makes me think about. Thanks a lot. Bye.